As part of our Commitment 2016 election coverage, WGAL is covering all the races that impact the Susquehanna Valley. From the presidential contest down to the state and local races, it's our commitment to making you a more informed voter. I am joined by the candidates running for the 101st Legislative District in the Pennsylvania House of Representatives. The district covers the city of Lebanon and much of southwestern Lebanon County. The candidates are running to replace Representative Maureen Gingrich, who is retiring. The candidates who from left to right are Lorraine Scudder, a businesswoman and Democrat from Palmyra, and Frank Ryan, a small business owner and retired Marine colonel, the Republican from Cornwall. Thank you both for being here.
Mike, thank you so much.
We'll start with Lorraine. Let's just start with why you're running and why now?
Why now? Well, I've always had an inkling to run for office, and when Maureen Gingrich decided not to run, I thought this was an opportune time for me to do that. So I put forth my candidacy, and here I am.
Perfect. Mr. Ryan, why is the timing right for you think?
I'm extraordinarily concerned as a certified public accountant about the fiscal solvency of the state. The pension plans are functionally bankrupt. The property taxes are having a disastrous effect on the citizens in the Commonwealth. And some of the other state and spending programs are creating a situation in which there are operational inefficiencies that are costing all of us a great deal of money. So I decided when Maury stepped down, it'd be a great time to run and see if we can make a positive impact, because I believe in the next 2 to 4 years, our district and our Commonwealth needs to make significant fiscal changes, or time is no longer on our side.
Ms. Scudder, it'll always be up to the leadership in terms of what bills run, but what would be your legislative goals? What would be the key issues you'd want to focus on in Harrisburg?
Well, I'm focusing on 3 issues this campaign. The first one is for education, to make sure that all of our children receive a quality education, and not just in Lebanon County, but throughout the Commonwealth. I'm also concerned with minimum wage. I would like to see it raised to what's being proposed right now for $10.10. My ultimate goal would be, though, however, to see it raised to the $15 that the federal government is proposing. The third thing that concerns me is the bipartisan, or not the non-bipartisanship that is in Harrisburg at the present time, and the obstructionism where nothing is getting done. The last few years, no significant bills have been passed. And I believe that in order to do that, we do have to have bipartisan, and as you can tell by Frank and I, we get along quite well, and I'm sure I would be able to do that with the others as well.
Perfect. Mr. Ryan, legislative goals?
Absolutely, and I agree with Lorraine 100% that we absolutely have to improve the working relationships with Democrats and Republicans at the legislature and at the executive branch. But the legislative goals are pretty clear. I support property tax elimination. I'm very much in favor of shoring up and modifying the existing pension plan, paying the unfunded liabilities that exist already. And I plan on helping to pay for those by ensuring that we have operational audits that are performed by the Auditor General's office would be implemented, and encourage all the state agencies to do those, but make those mandated by the legislature. And then finally, hiring additional independent auditors to work with Health and Human Services to eliminate waste, fraud, and abuse in some of the social programs that are occurring, so we can deliver a better and a more quality product to the citizens and a better quality service. In addition, in terms of education, we need to push back at the federal level with the unfunded mandates that are creating such a tremendously negative drain on the school district's ability to do that. So I would sponsor a bipartisan approach at the House and the Senate with executive approval to ask our legislators in D.C. to get the federal government to fund those unfunded mandates that they're burdening the school districts with.
It's a very interesting district, the city of Lebanon, and then going southwest, places like Mount Gretna and other rural areas. Do you think that the voice of Lebanon County is being heard in Harrisburg in a way that it should be, Ms. Scudder?
No and yes. I'm saying no because of the pipeline that's going through, and the non-regulations that are opposed, not opposed. Let me start that over if you don't mind. One of the concerns is the pipeline and the way it's being handled. I believe we should have more oversight on it, and that, like the spill that happened just this past week, where 75,000 gallons or 55,000 gallons were dumped in the Susquehanna River, who's at fault? Who's going to clean it up? And not only that, but there are a lot of places where the pipeline is not fully observed. So we can have a leak at any point, and they're so remote that it's very hard to get to. So that would be one of my main concerns as far as Lebanon not being represented fairly.
What about you, Mr. Ryan? You think the voice of Lebanon is being heard in Harrisburg?
I'm a retired Marine Colonel and a CPA, and I specialize in keeping companies out of bankruptcy. And with that experience, I would say the answer is no. And I'm not sure any of our interests are being heard the way they should be. And it goes back to the issue of us having a bipartisanship, almost a statesman-like approach to governing. We're over-regulated in so many different ways. It's prevented small businesses from being able to create more jobs. I am a small business owner. So what I would propose is working in the legislature to try to restill and instill the voice of the people so that our liberties are reinforced, and we reinforce the understanding that we have a life and liberty and pursuit of happiness that's unimpeded with the necessary regulations only were those that protect the common good. So the goal would be to really reinforce the individual liberties of those citizens in our district.
Perfect. Briefly, to wrap things up, why are you the best person to represent this district, Ms. Gill?
Well, oh, geez, I just lost it. I'm sorry. I have a family. I have friends that I can count on. I mean, I'm just like anybody else, you know, living in Lebanon County. I know what it's like to live paycheck to paycheck and making sure that there's food on the table and the kids are taken care of. My dad was a operating engineer and a union member. My mom worked nights as a waitress. My late husband was a gas station owner and operator. Believe me, there were some pretty tough times. So I can relate to the people out there to let them know that, yeah, I hear you. And I would have an open door policy. My door will always be open. I plan on being a full-time legislator. So because if I am elected, my last day at work will be December 31st. They've already been warned. So
Very good. Mr. Ryan?
Candidly, the reason I think this is the time to do this, I came from a very poor family. My dad died when I was 3 years old. My mom raised 5 children. I put myself through college. I understand the value of hard work. My first 3 jobs were minimum wage jobs. I am a retired Marine Reserve Colonel. I've been in harm's way. I specialize in keeping companies out of bankruptcy, and I'm a CPA. Our state is in very, very serious financial condition. We've kicked the ball down the street way too long. We have approximately $110 billion of unfunded pension obligations that we have to deal with. They are legitimate commitments, but we can't continue allowing that unnecessary burden to continue. Property tax owners can't support themselves. Social Security members have received a 0.3% increase this year. Property taxes are going up 4 to 5%. Healthcare costs are going up 20 to 30% per year. I believe I have the requisite skills as a CPA and someone who keeps companies out of bankruptcy to go to Harrisburg to put the type of financial discipline in Harrisburg that we all as family members, both Lorraine, myself, and the other members of the district, have had to do for decades. It's now time for the state and local governments to have the same type of fiscal constraints that we've had to. I would ask for your vote on November 8th, and I want to thank Lorraine for being with me today. She's a great friend.
thanks, Frank. You too.
Thank you both very much. Thank you for joining us and for being here. It's worth noting that they made a pledge to run a positive campaign together, and that's something that all candidates should admire. Let's remind you, Election Day is Tuesday, November 8th, and keep up with the latest election news on WGAL.com. There you can find more information on the other races we're following that you'll only find online.